All right, we are back in commission with the Bullheaded Podcast. I am your host, Sean Tyson, here with Zoo and Peebush. How you guys doing?
Doing great, man. Starting my fantasy football research. Got a dynasty league for the first time this
Oh,
year.
really?
So
Dynasty?
yeah, giving the rookie prognosis a shot, man. Just got to take some chances on the Jamar Chases, and might just pick up Joe Burrow, man, or Justin Fields.
Or Trevor Lawrence, man.
For that. Yeah, or damn near Trevor. We all know who's not going to be making a dynasty team though. That's Tim Tebow.
Tebow time's over. Oh man, I'll tell you what, the Tim Tebow experience has been something that I've kind of had a personal vendetta against, just based off he's a Florida guy. I'm a Florida State guy. He kicked our ass a lot when we played. And now that Tebow's out of there, maybe he'll just stay on the ESPN networks and do like commentating and start a family.
Or he'll go back to baseball.
Yeah.
He was pretty good at commentating.
Yeah, really good. And it's really good money.
It's good money. He puts a positive spin on something that usually doesn't get positive spins in sports media, let's be honest, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the start of the preseason has been awesome. I mean, I think we've seen, a lot of the young quarterbacks really kind of show up and show out, man. Trey Lance, I mean, I know he had a little bit of a rough end to that game, his first preseason game, but look, man, Justin Fields came out and did his thing. He's slowly inching up to possibly even getting the tap for QB1 in week 1.
He better start, man. He better start.
He has to, man, because if the Bears are going to be too tentative and, just kind of they don't want to step on anyone's toes, I think Dalton would gladly hand the reins over, just kind of mentor him and take his $10 million, man. I mean, why not?
That's the greatest job in the world.
The greatest job
quarterback.
Exactly. And, the guys, hopefully, knock on wood, Justin Fields stays healthy with how young he is, right? And Andy Dalton might not have to do anything for the rest of his career. So it's going to be fun to watch, but we're going to kind of walk through the divisions, I think, Zoo. So I'm going to start with my most competitive division in the NFC, and we got the NFC West, man. I think, because for so long, the Seahawks were kind of the perennial favorites. I think for a long time, the Rams had their stints here and there. 49ers did as well, making the Super Bowl and getting slightly embarrassed there. But now they have a legitimate QB in San Francisco, or, so they hope, in Trey Lance. And the Seahawks have kind of gone on a down spiral. We saw the end of last year, man. I've never seen worse defensive performances outside of Dallas, Texas, man. I mean, you don't – for going from the Legion of Boom that was one of the most feared to just giving up touchdowns. I mean, that playoff game against the Rams was embarrassing. I mean, it was embarrassing last year. So they're kind of on the downward spiral. But I actually have the other 3 teams making the playoffs this year. I think the Rams are going to win the division.
3?
I think the Rams are going to win. You got to remember, there's 3 wild cards now.
Yeah.
So I got the Rams winning the division. I think they made the best move outside of Bears trading up for Justin Fields. I thought that was the best draft move. But making that Stafford trade and getting Goff,
they got to clear up. Yeah, they got to clear upgrade.
They have a clear shot at that division, let alone even making AFC or NFC Championship game. So, Stafford going in there, man, they're not just going to be running slant patterns all day now with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. They're going to be able to throw it down the field. I think that it'll open up McVay's offense a lot more. And they have one of the best defenses, if not the best in the league. So they're
what about Cam Akers' injury?
That's big. I understand that. But I think that with their defense, they're going to be in every single game, and Stafford gives them a one-up than they already had at the offensive level, especially to beat the Niners have a good defense, but the Seahawks and Cardinals, I mean, Cardinals have a decent defense, but they're not that special, and the Seahawks are far from it. So when it comes to their divisional matchups, I think the Rams are going to take that. I think it's going to come down to them and the 49ers, though, if Trey Lance and their quarterback play is solid, because I think those are the top 2 teams, with the Cardinals kind of creeping a little bit because they were right there for the wild card, and the Bears knocked them out somehow last year. So with Kyler Murray coming in, they got D-Hop. I mean, their defense is good. They have the most momentum, I think, of that division of anybody. They have a lot of young players. The Niners are kind of been stagnant, and they're waiting for their quarterback.
They're in a transition phase right now.
They're
taking a look at it. They don't believe in Jimmy G. That's why they got Trey Lance. So if you don't believe in your quarterback, Man, like if you don't got no fifth year QB, you don't believe that you can win a Super Bowl with them. Right. That's pretty much what you're saying.
And they didn't. So, yeah, and they did. They lost the Super Bowl with him, right? I mean, you could argue that he was the reason for that partially.
Yeah,
right?
If he made
the Chiefs had a bad game.
He made one good throw.
Yeah, he did.
Champions. If he made one throw.
But they have a hell of some offensive weapons, man. In the backfield, they got Deebo Samuel out wide. I mean, they could be really damn good. It really just comes down to if Trey Lance can actually play efficiently. And they took a chance on picking him, man. I mean, Fields fell to 11, and they could have had him, right? Maybe they didn't think it was a good fit. I personally think he would have nearly fit in anywhere outside of New England, maybe. And but I'm not complaining as a Bears fan, but this NFC West, man, is going to be a hell of a fun time to watch. And it has been for a couple years now. So, yeah, I got the Rams, then the Niners, and then the Rams all within one game of each other. But they're Rams taking the cake, and then Niners, Cardinals taking two of the 3 wild card spots.
2 of the 3 wild card spots. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Not going to lie, man. I am very bearish on the Seattle Seahawks, man. I agree with you. Just like the whole relationship and all the relation talk between Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson and the tension between them, all these rumors and all this stuff, the back and forth between, they don't got a good relationship. That's not good. So that QB, that OG QB to coach combination is not there. And like you, man, I am bullish on the Rams. Yeah. Like Sean McVay is an elite head coach, and he actually got an elite quarterback for once. Like Jared Goff was never elite. He got paid elite money because he made it to the Super Bowl, but they made it in spite of Jared Goff. In spite of Jared Goff, they had Todd Gurley with great defense, like great weapons. So now they got a legit QB and Matthew Stafford. That trade was a beautiful trade. So I got the Rams winning the division. Okay. I got the winning the division, and I got the Cardinals also making it in.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Niners.
Oh, yeah, I got the Niners out, man. I don't believe in them. I feel like the stress of having a backup QB breathing down Jimmy G's neck is going to affect him. I truly do. Because when you draft a guy that you traded up for,
True. Yeah.
So, like,
they made it obvious.
They're like, we looked at the QB position, we're lacking there, and we're going to trade up lots of assets for this guy. And it's not trading up for like a Trevor Lawrence no-brainer. This is Trey Lance from a small school, and they believe that this guy has opportunity to be better than Jimmy G. Jimmy G, I feel like that's a little disrespectful. This guy made it to the Super Bowl with them, so I feel like Jimmy G is going to have an awful year. And there might be a QB change in the middle of the year, and that's not good for chemistry. So
I think it salvages.
Yeah, so that's why I don't got the 49ers or the Seahawks making it, man. Like, I don't like drama on football teams, man. Like, Kyler Murray and his head coach, they love each other. They're in perfect cohesion. No drama there. So I feel like the thing with the most continuity, I'm going with those teams that making the playoffs.
That's a good point. I mean, I think my putting the Niners in is partially because, they do have a solid defense. Their running game is unbelievable. They have a great offensive line. They're getting a fully healthy George Kittle. We saw what he was doing when he just came back.
That dude always injured, though.
He is always injured, but look, man, he's resilient as hell, and we've seen that when they were making their push to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, man. That was unbelievable. I think that they're the most on the cusp team, but I still like them overall better than the Seahawks. I think I think the Cardinals have the most upswing and the Niners have the most uncertainty, which is why I think you both have the Rams as a lock for the division winner there. But beyond that, I think it's a toss-up, but I think it's still the strongest division in the NFC. So, the other ones that perennially have been strong were like the NFC South, right? The Saints were always pretty good. The Falcons had a couple good years there. Panthers always make things interesting just having McCaffrey on the field. And now they have Sam Darnold there, but I don't know, Zoo. What do you think about that one? I think we both know the favorite out of it.
I'm thinking Tom Brady until the man retires, man. I don't bet against Tom Brady anymore, man. This dude, his leadership, his intangibles, man. And even off the court, right now, I'm a fan of him off the field, man. Him talking trash to people about being old and stuff and still winning it all. Like, I just don't bet against Tom Brady. So I got them easily winning division. Mm-hmm. And if I look at the rest of the teams, the New Orleans Saints without Drew Brees, that's going to be a weird team. I don't think – it's not the New Orleans Saints anymore.
And Michael Thomas.
Yeah. Michael Thomas, like that dude got issues now with everything. Like this guy got paid $100 million, and that money got to his head, and I don't know what's going on. All I hear is him getting into fights, him not wanting to play. Like he's always injured too now. Like Michael Thomas is an issue. Like I don't even want him on my fantasy football team. So that's how bad it's gone for this dude, the former first-round pick in fantasy football. So I am very, very bearish on the New Orleans Saints. They're not making the playoffs with no more Drew Brees, the guy that's the tone setter of the franchise. And then I look at the Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers also transition phase, new QB, Sam Darnold. I think he's going to finally be given a great opportunity with a lot of talent. Robbie Anderson, DJ Morris, Christian McCaffrey. He got lots of weapons. And Matt Moore is as an offensive head coach. So he's going to be given a chance, but he's still too young. They're missing the playoffs. And Matty Ice and Atlanta Falcons, Matty Ice is so average, man. He lost his favorite weapon in Julio Jones. Calvin Ridley's a stud. They drafted the stud tight end. But, yeah, that defense has been atrocious for the past couple of years. And offensively, I don't see them getting better by subtracting Julio Jones. So they're a no-go for me either.
Yeah, I have no one else coming out of this one besides the Bucks here. I have them going 13-4. I think they're going to dominate and be up there with the Packers for the 1-2 seed. Look, man, they retained pretty much everybody from their Super Bowl team with so many names on it. I mean, it literally looked like a fantasy team from like 2015 put together, and somehow, that was the winner, right? I mean, they were just, star-studded. I do have them making the Super Bowl again this year. I'll just say that outright. They are my NFC champion for this upcoming year. But yeah, man, I do feel bad for, an Alvin Kamara because, look, man, they had their shot for the past couple of years. They had some damn good talent on that team with Drew Brees running the helm. Now he's handing off the reins to Jameis Winston. Who knows, man? Maybe he could have a good year. I do not have faith in him to do so. Taysom's also there with one of the most illusion-ridden contracts I've ever seen in the NFL. Looks like he's making $30 million a year, but it's all on the back end, so purely voidable. Sorry, Taysom. But yeah, man, I don't like anyone else out of that division. Falcons finally got Dan Quinn out, man. And funny enough, he's the D coordinator for one of the in the league now in the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys. So, man, talk about a team that is not making correct decisions. The NFC East in total is the division of bad decisions, man. Like they just are. Once again, this is like the NFC West. It's a toss up, but in a poorer way. I don't have the Eagles doing anything. I don't think they're gonna touch. The Eagles aren't gonna do anything. It really comes down to the Cowboys, man. Can they actually do something? Can the Cowboys actually do something? And I don't know, Zoo. Do you believe in the Cowboys offense to fully? I
believe in the Cowboys offense, man. I am the biggest Ezekiel Elliott fan in the world. The guy's won me multiple fantasy championships, and I feel like this year, coming off of a redemption year after he was god awful last year, came in out of shape. He slimmed down this offseason. Ezekiel Elliott, people are starting to doubt him. Like he had 4 straight consecutive years of rushing yards going down. So from a career statistical wise, he's declining. Like obviously as a stud, he had one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time as a running back. But year after year, you see the rushing yards go down and down. So people are starting to doubt him. He's going to come in with the chip, and I feel like they're going to feed the ball. And Dak Prescott is back. Hopefully, Dak Prescott doesn't get injured again. Even though right now there's some weird injury stuff going on in the offseason right now. Some MRIs, who knows what's going on? Because if Dak Prescott is freaking injured, they got no shot. No shot. But I'm assuming he's going to stay healthy this year. And that offense is 2 point. Like CeeDee Lamb, dude's a stud. Dude's so good at football.
He's taking over number 2.
I think he's better than Amari Cooper. I think he's better than Amari Cooper. I think he's the most talented wide receiver. Yeah, like Michael Gallup, like Don, like CeeDee Lamb is the stud in that offense. And with that offense, like that, they just got too many weapons. I think the O-line even improved from last year. Last year they were actually pretty average for once, but I feel like they gotten better. So Dallas Cowboys gonna win the NFC least. And I know you're hating on the Eagles. I hate the Eagles, except for my boy Jalen Hurts. Okay. I think this man got upside, statistical upside. I don't think he's going to be that good.
Okay.
But from a fantasy football perspective,
all right.
he will be putting up lots of rushing yards, and they're going to be down a lot of games, so he'll be chucking the football. So
True.
lots of passing yards. And he actually is pretty decent of weapons around him.
A lot. Yeah, he really does have a lot of weapons.
Right?
Yeah,
like the wide receivers around him, like they got the stud rookie Devontae Smith. Like they got some weapons. Miles Sanders, like Jalen Reagor. Like, Reagor. They got some weapons around him.
Quez Watkins, every time he touches the ball, he scores a touchdown. Another fantasy sleeper. I just gave you guys a late round pick in Quez Watkins. Probably shouldn't have gave that one away. Might edit that out.
and they still got Zach Ertz. Dallas got it.
Yeah.
I think from a fantasy perspective, it's a very interesting roster. But from a real life football perspective, I don't want no ego shares. So I got Dallas Cowboys winning the NFC least. But then the Washington football team, very interesting team. Like with Fitzpatrick down there, that guy could be Fitzmagic or Fitztragic. So depending on what day it is of the week, the guy could drop 4 touchdowns easy, or he could throw like 3 picks and get 0 touchdowns. So they have an elite defense. I think they might be the best defense in football.
They're top 4 right now.
Yeah, I think they could be. They have an opportunity to be number 1 in defense. So if they're number 1 in defense, that offense has got to be average. Maybe even a little below average. They could probably win this division because the division is just not that good. So I think they're the biggest competitor to the Cowboys. The Giants, I have no belief in the Giants. Like Daniel Jones, I watch enough of him, he sucks. Saquon Barkley coming off the injury. I'm betting against the Giants. I don't think they're going to get it done this year. So
really,
yeah. Washington football team might squeak it in, depending on if their offense is actually average. But we'll see on that because Fitzpatrick is very unpredictable.
Wow. I mean, I knew you were going to go with the Cowboys, and I think that's purely because you just have a personal connection to Zeke.
Oh, Zeke. Me and Zeke, man, since rookie year, man. He's my boy.
Yeah.
He's my boy.
He's your boy. So I understand that. That's why I have little premonition. I got the Bears making the wild card 7th seed right there. So we'll get to the NFC North shortly. But look, man, I think that Dallas, it's all on their health. And if their defense can just do enough to keep them in every game, right, and not have to score 40 points, right? Because we know that they can do that. But if they're being asked to do that every single week, I don't think that they'll be able to keep up with that, especially for an extra game this season. Like you said, Zeke's slightly on the decline statistically, but look, as a player, he's still a beast. I mean, he's still a top 10 back, if he's healthy. And I do have them pushing my winner, but not close enough. I have Washington football team taking the crown division in the NFC East this year, man. I mean, look, their defense is, as you said, Zoo, it's pretty much top 3 right now. Could easily be in that 1 or 2 category by the end of the season. They have unbelievable young weapons, man. They got scary Terry Cloran, man. They got Logan Thomas, a very up-and-coming tight end who had great numbers last year. And then I like Antonio Gibson, man. He's great out of the backfield, can catch passes, and now they have a slightly more aggressive game manager, right, at quarterback, because Alex Smith is too conservative on the field. He doesn't want to make any mistakes.
Dude almost died playing football, man. I'm surprised he came in the back of the NFL. If I was him, I'm retiring.
Yeah, I agree, but it was one of the best comebacks of all time, and they need to rename that damn award after him. Honestly, the NFL should, but. I think that, his gameplay's always kind of been the same way. He doesn't want to make mistakes. He wants to just keep his team in the game, get them like 20 points, and hope his defense hold him to 17, right? That's kind of how he's always managed, even when he was back on the Chiefs. And now they have a guy who's, getting face masks pulled and chucking 50 yards down the field to try and tie the game up, I mean, Magic, he can work magic, and he's a great decision maker, but he's still willing to take the risk. I mean, they have serious down the field threats in that team right now. I got Washington coming out 10-7, man. Got them 10-7 winning that division. Because, look, man, they're going to beat the Eagles twice. I mean, that's a given. They'll probably split with Dallas, I think, just because of their defense, man. I think they're going to wreak havoc on them. But it's one of those divisions where they're all kind of poor enough that it keeps it interesting to watch. But I like the Giants a lot more than you do, Zoo. I'll give them a quick shout out. I think with Saquon coming back healthy, the addition of Kenny Galladay along with Darius Slayton and Sterling Shepard, that's a
Do you know what they're
solid
doing?
1-2-3.
Do you know what they're doing? They're giving Daniel Jones no excuses.
Exactly. So my point is,
And I just think DJ sucks. Like, I just think he's bad at football. He ain't Josh Allen. He ain't Josh Allen.
But
like Daniel Jones just looks atrocious.
A quarterback can take the step or not take the step, and this is a fresh season, and he's got a legitimate down the field. I can just chuck the ball up, and he'll go up and get a guy in Kenny Galladay. That's what Stafford lived on for years, man. And Daniel Jones is way more mobile, except when he's wide open down the field, then he's tripping over himself. But beyond that, man, he's a pretty mobile quarterback. He just needs to up his decision making. They have a great defense in the league. They were ninth. The Giants were ninth last year in defense. So, we'll see, but I don't have them making the division or winning the division. I do not have them making the wild card, but I still think that they could, all those teams could be within, a couple games of each other and pushing towards.
They should have traded up and got a quarterback. I would have been way bigger on them. I think if the Giants would have got a quarterback this year instead of, I guess they got Kadarius Toney in the first round, I would have been high on the Giants because I like Saquon and all this and like all the receivers they got. But can't have it both ways, I guess.
It's kind of all on if Saquon's healthy.
Yeah.
That's a big if, man.
Because partially, if the Giants have no running game, then they know they have to pass. And if you're passing with Daniel Jones, that already gives you the down, man. I mean, so if Saquon's in the game, man, it gives him way more options to flourish. Will he take them? Who knows?
Nah, I got no, man. You got a lot more faith in the New York Giants, man, but I got zero, man. I think they might.
You're there.
I think they might finish last year. They'll be battling with I said it. They might be battling for the Philadelphia for the last seed right there in the NFC East, man.
You're battling for that playoff spot last year.
Yeah, last year was a weird year, man. Everyone was battling. It was like the worst division in like NFL history. Like
because the Cowboys, dude, they fucking the Cowboys every year. Like they have, like you said, with their offense. They're so gifted offensively. Their defense is just, and it doesn't make sense because it's not like they don't have guys on that side of the ball.
Yeah,
they have a lot of like DeMarcus Lawrence. They got Micah Parsons this year. They got what's his name, Diggs. They got Diggs, the corner. Like they got guys on that side of the ball. They just do what Cowboys do. They just do what the Cowboys always do. It's not even really hard to explain the Cowboys. That's just what they do. They go 8-8. They go 7-8. Like
can't go 8-8 anymore, man. No more 8-8.
Oh yeah,
8-9.
8-9 now. Yeah, 8-9. Cowboys are so frustrating because this would probably be the year that they could probably turn the fuck up because Dak coming back, presuming his arm is healthy now, but if his arm is healthy, he could probably turn up a 5,000 yard. Especially with his weapons, it could get scary. So it's just all about the defense.
I'll be owning a lot of Dallas Cowboys on my fantasy team. That's all I got to say, man.
Me too.
I love the offense.
For fantasy football, hey man, if Dak had stayed healthy last year, man, I would have won. I would have won some of my leagues, man, because he was dropping 40 a game easy. But he's good, man. I mean, but hey, on to the finale, the good division, man. The division that matters in my eyes. I don't even need to do any research about this division. I know by hand, man. Back of the hand, and we all know who's winning that division. The Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Look.
Okay, you give me in. Okay.
They're going to win the division. I think with the Rodgers fiasco behind them, I think that they're in the clear for at least another year. For now, it's okay. They have solid weapons. They were able to retain one of their two stud running backs. They're losing Jamal Williams to the sorry team, unfortunately, up in Detroit. But I think if they could have retained both of those guys, that would have been ideal. But, look, man, they're great on offense. They have a mediocre defense. Rodgers is he's Rodgers, man. And they're guaranteed at least 4 wins in the division pretty much every single year, both against the Lions and at least splitting between the Vikings and the Bears, at least. The Lions are going to be horrible.
I feel like the Lions,
they might be the worst team.
They might win 2 games this year.
I agree.
I think they might win 2 games because of how bad they are with Jared Goff leading the team. So, the Detroit Lions are irrelevant. We could agree on that. Oh yeah, they lost all their number one. Like the only guy they got left is like DeAndre Swift. That's going to be their entire offense this coming up here.
He could be a nice pickup too. TJ Hawkins.
TJ Hawkins.
He's a fantasy guy.
Yeah, he was okay last year.
He might actually get a decent workload this year because Goff loves his tight ends, man.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
I mean, he loves throwing the ball.
But yeah. Man.
What do you have to say about him, Zoo? I'll let you go first.
Obviously, I'm picking the Packers to win division because if Aaron Rodgers is alive, he's going to win the division. That's easy because they're bringing back like Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams. The offense is going to be elite. They still have the same head coach, so good continuity. Last year, they just dropped it against a better team in the Buccaneers, who was the more balanced team, and Rodgers just choked in the fourth quarter. So, I don't know what I got to say about that. But as a Packers fan, Rodgers was atrocious last year in the fourth quarter, even though he was MVP caliber and won the MVP last year. But this year might be the first year. I'm a little scared of the Bears a little more now. I'm a little more scared of the Bears because for once in my lifetime, they have a quarterback that it's not average anymore. Like, this guy's got potential upside, man. That's something I've never said in my entire life. From the Rex Grossmans to the Jake Cutlers of mediocrity. Like, this Chicago Bears has been allergic to elite quarterbacks, man. They have never had an elite quarterback. Even back in the days when the 85 Bears, all defense, all Walter Payton. They never had an elite quarterback in their entire lifetime as a franchise. But now Justin Fields might break the curse. And if he does, and I don't know, like right now, NFL QBs in the past couple of years, they're starting fast. There's a lot of guys that Justin Herbert out of nowhere. These quarterbacks come in as rookies and somehow they're dominating because it's more pass friendly to QBs or something. The rule changes. But it's been QBs that are coming in have been immediate impact type dudes. So if Justin Fields is immediate impact, bye-bye, Andy Dalton. You can take a seat on the bench, have a sip of tea with the coach, and let Justin Fields take over as QB1 because that will be finally the first time I am excited to watch the Chicago Bears because they actually have an opportunity. They have an opportunity to make the playoffs and make some noise. Because in the past couple of years now, they're gonna go 8-8, and they might make it in, and they get destroyed by the Saints because their quarterback's mediocre. But if Justin Fields that dude, and he looks like that dude, you can just tell by some dude. This guy's 1-2 with Trevor Lawrence's entire career. I am bullish on the Bears, and I got them making it as a wild card.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean, I hold the same thing. I think they're going to get second. I do think, first to touch on the Vikings real quick because, once again, man, they're kind of I don't want to say they are as good as the Cowboys, but if you're looking at pure weaponry, they have
Dalvin
Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. I mean, look, man, the only thing, once again, is it comes down to, their defense has kind of slipped in the past couple years. And they just bought into Kirk Cousins, right? And you never really know with this team. They could pop off one week, have an unbelievable game. Kirk Cousins can throw for 4 touchdowns and 400 yards. And then the next game, he'll throw 3 picks and 200, for 2 games in a row. So this team's really hard for me to predict. I always end up putting them right around 500. Obviously, they can't get 500 anymore. So I have them at 9-8 this year. But on to my Bears, man. Look at, man, this team. I'm hopeful every single year, man. I think watching Fields play, I know his touchdown was wide open. I think he was 30 yards open, damn near, and everybody was hyping him up and all that. And I don't want to jump on the bandwagon too early. That's bit me multiple times, as Zoo can attest. But look, man, they have so much talent on the defensive side. They actually have weapons now. I'd say that they have a solid number 2 guy at wide receiver now in Darnell Mooney. I'm really high on him this year if you're looking for a sleeper. Young, sleeping guy who can get down the field with a guy who can throw down the field because he torched Jalen Ramsey last year multiple times again. He had beat the entire time. He had Ramsey beat. And I was like, well, and then Trubisky overthrows him by 20 yards. I mean, that's not happening with Justin Fields this year, man. It's not going to happen. if they have the balls to play him early on, like you said, Zoo. And I think they will. I think they are finally having a realization that they finally made a right decision, and holy shit, we have to actually go for this. And I'm hoping they do, fingers crossed, because with him and Montgomery in the backfield, they could have a solid offense paired up with a very good defense. I have them going 10-7 and sneaking in at wild card again this year. Thank God for Roger Goodell making an addition of 2 teams to the playoffs, one on each conference side, because it gives my Bears a chance, baby. I'm high on him, man. I like him, and I think another quick shout out. I think Cole Kmet's going to take a next step too with him. I think he could end up being a sleeper tight end if you're looking for a dynasty type guy that, you know, in a couple of years could be a legit stud, because he's been training and studying with Travis Kelce. So that's what I like to hear. That's the Nagy connection to Kansas City. I think they're going to try and incorporate a lot more tight end play this year and kind of mirroring, Fields and Mahomes with Kmet and Kelce, and, you know, running that type of offense. So I'm pumped, man. It's going to be great.
I don't know who this Kmet guy is, but Travis Kelce, come on now.
He's going to beat Travis Kelce.
He's probably the greatest tight end of this generation.
And he gets to learn from him. I'll take that any day of the week, man.
He's a bona fide Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Travis Kelce is probably a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he's one of the great. I think he's a better tight end than Rob Gronkowski based on his career value wise. Like, he's dominated for a longer time. So whoever this Bears tight end is, all I know is that good luck being Travis Kelce. But David Montgomery, he's a very interesting player, because I loved hating on him last year because I had him on my team. He cost me a lot of fantasy football games. But this year is very interesting. Potential Justin Fields running QB starting. And he dominated last year. At the end of the year, he put up some really nice numbers, from the rushing lines. He also pass catcher.
He had 1,000.
Man, I'm just 1,000 yards. Man, when did David Montgomery look like Ezekiel Elliott with all those rushing yards? What's going on? So this year, do you believe that David Montgomery could pull up an 1,100-yard rushing season with 9 to 10 touchdowns? Is that in the possibility?
Look, man, he rushed for 1,000 last year. That's something a lot of people forget. He ended up hitting the 1,000-yard mark last year, and I'm pretty sure he had about 7 touchdowns, Zoo. So if he has a full season to play with a good quarterback with a solid passing game that they have to respect, I'm putting him at 1,209 touchdowns this year. That's where I'm putting him. I think he's going to be a top 10 running back, possibly top 7. Yeah, no, I think he's going to be good if he stays healthy and if they use him in the passing game, because that's his ability in the passing game, I think, is, makes him stand out versus some other running backs. He's kind of like an Aaron Jones in that sense.
Isn't Tariq Cohen injured?
Tariq Cohen should be coming back soon, I believe, actually, too. And so they missed him all of last year. And, I mean, he tore his ACL in the first 1 or 2 games, I think. But, we'll see, man. I'm pumped for this team, man. If they have Tariq Cohen back fully healthy, even at some point in this season, that's a solid 1-2 combo.
Yeah, thunder and lightning, man. Thunder and lightning. But if I'm taking David Montgomery, I hope Tariq Cohen takes a seat, man, on the bench, because I need my D-Mont yards and touchdowns, because he's in my radar as a potential 3rd, 4th round draft pick now. 3rd, 4th round RB that has potential top 10 RB upside. He's on my list of potential targets.
Cohen, or are you talking about Montgomery?
D-Mont. Not Tariq.
I was like, wait, what?
Tariq, they should move him to the slot, man. That's what I would do. Well, Wes Welker action.
Yeah, he's a great pass catcher. But David Montgomery is very interesting. If he puts up those numbers, the Bears got a legit shot making the playoffs. I got them in as the playoffs, but I think it'll be heavy reliance on the 1-2 punch of Justin Fields and D-Mont to make that offense get yards. Because I don't know about this Darnell Mooney guy. You're hyping up this dude, man. I don't know about that guy. The only guy I like Allen Robinson, man. Allen Robinson is a stud. This guy's been putting up 1,000-yard seasons since the Jacksonville days. So this guy's been legit for a while. But Darnell Mooney, I don't know. This random tight end, I don't know about these other weapons that Fields potentially could throw to.
Yeah. You got to see it happen, man. I don't know. Darnell Mooney's legit. Cole Kmet's he's on the rise, man. Because he was behind Jimmy Graham all last year, so he didn't get much playing time. Yeah, but
He's still there?
Darnell Mooney, no. He's going to be good, man. Darnell Mooney, I'm high on him.
Jimmy Graham, where did he end up going?
I think he actually still might be there.
They
They were like in limbo about re-signing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he saw
Year last year.
Yeah, he saw this.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah, the
in there.
NFC North. I think the
Yeah.
NFC North
He-
is going to be super interesting.
He signed I think he signed a 2-year option deal.
I think the NFC North is going to be super interesting just because Minnesota is so weird because they always, I feel like, have like the most talent in the division, but you have Kirk Cousins, so it kind of cancels it out. Like you say with the Green Bay Packers, Green Bay is weird because I feel like Aaron's doing this is my last year, and like I'm gonna bring back. You see, he was trying to bring back Clay Matthews. It's like, what are you doing, bro? It's like, are you trying to get to the
unite everyone, man? They got Randall Cobb back, man. They're trying to
Randall Cobb
back together.
I feel like it's just him trying to flex his muscles and trying to, and that worries me a little bit because it's just like, dude, like teams in the division are getting better, so you can't just be it's me, and I'm just gonna get the Packers to the champion or to win the division, which he probably will because it's Aaron Rodgers. I just find it weird that he's doing all that. So that division, and I also think I would say what was the first one we did? MC, was it North?
West.
Or West. Those are the two divisions where it's like it could really be a toss-up. Like I think we kind of with the NFC East. I think if everybody has bet money, it'd probably be. I know who said Washington and then like Dallas. Those are two strong teams. Also, I forgot about Washington. They got Curtis Samuel too. So like they got a lot.
They did add him.
I didn't even think about all the weapons they got. Scary Terry, Curtis Samuel, Antonio Gibson, who was my sleeper pick last year. I was a little too early on him, but that could be a team. But I just feel like with a lot of these guys, it's just going to come down to the quarterback play as usual. And I'm interested to see once we get through like week 8, week 9, with attrition of like injuries and stuff who's still standing. It's going to be real interesting to see how the NFC plays out that way. Versus the AFC, which we'll be talking about next week, I feel like that's more of a just jumble up and whoever comes out. I feel like with the AFC. Especially with a lot of, especially I want to see you guys, and you guys got to hold it, but like I want to see you guys' thoughts on the AFC East. Because I'm super interested in that division. I'm super interested in that division because that division could have four legit teams.
The AFC East?
Yeah.
Which
Buffalo, Patriots.
The Jets?
I like Wilson, dude. I like Wilson. Dude.
We got to save
Wilson.
this for next week.
He's not gonna win the division, but I like his. He's not Mahomes, but he's gonna have them. He's gonna have them competitive. Put it that way. He'll have them competitive. He'll have them competitive in that division. I don't think they're gonna win it.
I thought you were referencing I thought maybe you were referencing one of the other divisions, and then you said Buffalo, and I was like, damn, bro, I thought they were gonna be like 13-4 favorites right off the bat.
Well, no, they're gonna be the favorites, but like just looking at yeah.
I mean that's possible. If anything, Dolphins for sure. Dolphins for sure.
They went. Where did the Dolphins go last year? And then the Patriots. It's just hard for me. It's hard for me to just let the Patriots just be like they're gonna be bad again, especially with all the money they spent. I just don't see it. So then that's 3 teams, and then it's like the Jets. I feel like they're gonna be competitive with Wilson because they're gonna start him. Jameson Crowder's a guy I like too, fantasy guy. That's another fantasy guy I like. I had him 2 years ago. He's nice. I didn't have him last year, dude. But he's a quick guy.
He'll give you 808 touchdowns.
Yeah, easily. And now you got a quarterback. And hey, just thought of this guy. Sleeper for rookie receiver of the year. Elijah Moore. Been seeing his camp footage. Dude's nasty. If Wilson can get him the ball, nasty. Nasty. Elijah Moore. He was I think he was a 2nd-round pick last year. He's from Ole Miss. Look him up. Dude's fucking been killing. That's why I'm kind of bullish on it.
Damn, Sean, why don't you become a Jets fan, man?
Yeah.
And you know, all these Elijah
Wait,
Moore
yeah.
sleeper dudes, Zach Wilson, this dude, the next Patrick Mahomes. What are
Oh,
you
I
talking
didn't say
about, man? They're a
I didn't say
mediocre
that.
franchise, man. Even if Zach Wilson's that dude, does he have an elite offensive line to protect him, to give him the time?
He's got Mekhi Beckham and Vera Tucker. He's got 2 bookend tackles. So, yes, he does.
I get it.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know,
does.
man.
They have a good
They got
line.
some. You think it's all going to
And they
mesh
got
together
Frank
in 1
Gore.
year?
Frank Gore.
Becton came in last year. Becton
Frank
is a
Gore?
left tackle from last year. I don't know if they have Frank Gore, do they?
I don't
Frank
know if
Gore.
they kept him. Hey, man,
Uh,
he'd still give you his all.
Frank Gore is – that's another
Yeah.
first ballot. I don't know about first ballot, but that's a Hall of
He's
Fame.
a
Probably
first
is.
ballot. First ballot.
He definitely
100%.
is. Because I remember I took him like freshman year of college and drafted him in fantasy football, and that dude was old as garbage, and now he's still playing. So this dude's been a freaking dinosaur.
Dude, he's been playing since like what, 05?
Yeah, Frank Gore.
He's
is
like
electric.
38, dude.
Yeah, it's been 05, 06. Yeah.
Yeah, Frank Gore's 38 years old.
Right. But we'll be saving that for next week with our AFC predictions. We just dipped our toe in it a little bit just to give you guys a taste test of what we'll be talking about next week. But as usual, make sure you guys subscribe to our podcast page, bullheaded_pod. Like we were just talking about, the NFL is going to be right around the corner. We know we're going to squeeze in fantasy football talk. A lot of stuff coming up with the AFC next week. You know, a couple of things with the NBA. You know, it's going to be kind of dead for them because free agency and summer league is kind of off the grid now. So it'll be more just for more football-focused stuff. So you guys make sure you follow the page. And as always, for me, P. Bush and Zoo, we're out.